Sunday sharp to do 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 do. Sunday sharp to do 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 do. Sunday sharp to do 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 do. Ah, hello, 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 and welcome, willkommen, bienvenue, salut, ciao, all the others. Yeah, I know. I've still got to write down a list. How is everyone? Hope everyone is doing goodly. Scotty at Quatty here first. Howdy doody, our new local Austin. And Pamela, Punchy Paints, how are you? And awake. Well done, Pam. And Barbara's here as well. Hello, Barbara. And the lovely Marit. Hello, my darling. Big hugs. Oh, and Yella's here. Hola. How you doing, Yella? Bob's going to make coffee. Doesn't sound a bad idea to me. My guess is Pam is already on the coffee. I'm on the energy drinks, so, you know. And Patty's here as well. Hello, Patty. How are you? Hope all is well. Hope all is well with everybody. And Danny Boy's here as well. Oh, Danny Boy. Even folks just sitting in the car waiting for one of the human fry to finish work and listening as we drive home. So let me know when you're driving and I'll tell some random embarrassing story. Ricky, how you going? Brian, darling, how are you? Yeah, that's not coffee addiction. No, that's just life, age. Now, I remember times when I was barely way back in the mists of when, back in the medieval period, back when I could function without caffeine. I know, weird. It's happened though. And Red Laser's here as well. Hello, how are you? So, bus with. I would just make something up, Dan. About the time we went clubbing in drag, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good at that. Had to send 2 surgeries in the end. Oh dear, yeah. If you fall asleep, Ricky, don't worry about it. Have a doze. You're not the only one that could use a nap. And T'other Scotty's here. And Giggler, how you doing? Big hug to Paige. I'm doing okay. Well, mostly one minor issue this week, but it's been kind of pleasant, kind of nasty. Ears are clagged up, so I'm basically deaf at the moment, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. Just because I had that cold over Christmas and my ears decided they were going to fill up with wax and be solid and eardrops and it's generally not pleasant, but we're getting there. Chunks of wax coming out now, so I'll save you from the gory details. Don't want to murder mystery weekend when he's a pub manager once dressing up in drag. Well, Rocky Horror Theory, yeah. Everywhere else calls it drag, we call it the Rocky Horror Show. That's the way we get away with it. Oh no, it was the Rocky Horror. Honest, I wasn't going out in drag. Yeah. Anyway, yes, not good. But yeah, there's a few less pieces of livestock around the place today, because we had a rather sizable order that went to the LFS this morning. Dee Dee, how are you? Um, so yeah, we got rid of 50 common bristle noses, 40 super reds, 50 shrimp, 60 snails, and a dozen linear. So yeah, they all went to the LFS this morning. So yay! Tanks are empty, wallet's full. That's well, tanks aren't empty. There's still some left in that one, not a huge amount. So hopefully, once we do stuff, so we might get that one cleared up. But then what I'm thinking I might do, because the bottom one's virtually empty now, is shift the whichever the bigger batch of commons is, probably that one, down to the bottom, and then split whichever the biggest batch of super reds is, which is probably that one. See if I can actually split the long fin and the short fin apart to make it a little bit easier when I'm trying to catch them. Rather than sticking the net in, pulling out 20 and going, oh crap, now I've got to sort through them and get them in the right bags. Always fun. But yeah, that's what I spent most of my morning doing anyway, was catching the stuffs. But hey, worked out well. And while I was in there, some guy brought in 4 piranhas that he didn't want anymore and didn't get a penny for them. And yeah, because he just happened to pretty much just turn up with 4 piranhas he didn't want anymore. Now, those super easy fish to rehome. It's not a problem, that LFS, because they got a Mahusive piranha tank, which if you've seen the videos, you'll know. Don't ask how many gallons. It's like, what, 12 foot long, probably longer, maybe 15 foot by like 6 foot, 5 foot. So it's a monstrous tank. Bit wasted to keep piranhas in it, if you ask me. There are a couple of random sort of escaped platies in there and whatever. Just really lucky. Probably ended up in the sump somehow. Mandy's here. Manda Panda, how are you, my dear? You young and you. So yeah, we did that. We got rid of them. And I say, other than being deaf all week, work, usual, water changes, feedings. Oh, more breedies. We've got another batch of the Pelvica crimis subotulatus on the way. We have wrigglers now in the back of the flower pot. So we've been having to catch out the juveniles and stick them in there. Oh, I'm getting in trouble. Sorry, Marit. I did actually have him in place, and then this morning I caught dozen limia out of there, so that's why he got moved, because I had to take the lid off. But don't worry, I didn't give them the really good looking ones. I gave them the ones. They didn't get the gorgeous boys with all the black and the yellow on them. They got the more standard. I say more standard. I think I probably gave them 8 to 10 pregnant females. So, oh well. Keep my numbers down a bit at least if they don't all drop. There's another couple of batches of fry hiding up in amongst the Vallisneria and behind the filter. And yeah, so when I do the water changes on Tuesday, I'll net some of them out. Yeah. Yeah. busy week. And then I did actually remember to put up a video this week as well. Just what's been going on over 2022. Some point this week when I get around to it, might be Tuesday, might be Monday, we don't know. There will be a what's coming up in 2023 video, depending on whether I've got time to upload videos. And yes, I know I only work part-time, but I'm a lazy bugger who needs lots of nap time, lots of random watching stuff on YouTube time, and keeps forgetting to upload videos. It's quite easily done when you haven't got any pre-recorded. Thank you very much, Danny boy. And would one of my other mods please be so lovely as to put a link to Daniel Keeping Fish's channel in the chat? Because while I'm sure most people probably are already subbed, if there is someone who isn't, it's well deserved. And anyone else? Did I have a shrimp explode in the corner? Not around here, no. No shrimpies over here. And also, if anyone else has a channel that needs linking, like Mandy's or Marit's or Pam's, or anyone else who's got a channel with content, one of the mods, just spam the chat for the linky poos. Let's be nice and do the nice things today. Have a YouTube question. Can one add music to a video after uploading but before publishing? I don't know, Barbara. I think once it's uploaded, it's kind of finalized. I think you have to add it before upload. Not that I've ever done that. The only music you ever hear in my videos is me singing, and I wouldn't call that music or singing. There are far superior actual YouTubers here, people who do the whole YouTube thing, than me. I just upload videos and let them do what they're going to do. I don't. Dan's fries in the car, so headphones in. My farts have perfect pitch. Bob's editing software is very old and doesn't work well with the iPhone. Excuse me. My editing software is non-existent. Mine is in here. If I'm at home and I think I've screwed a video up, I'll refilm it. And I screw it up pretty badly to do that, trust me. It's normally things like, oh crap, you forgot to put shorts on again. And there's, or that kind of thing. Dug out 2 of my tanks yesterday, and Chris asked if we're having salad for dinner. The sink was full of plants. I know you wouldn't do it to Chris, but I know there's another male you probably would have fed them to. Yeah, me. Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? When you do clear out a bunch of plants from a tank, you're like, what the hell? What am I going to do with all these? But it's good to hear you getting your hands wet. We do like it when you got wet fingers, Marit. That says to me that your head's getting itself back together again. And I'm not going to combine the wet fingers with the lady cave either. We're going to leave that one well alone for now, anyway. Yes. And speaking of farts, yeah, I did fart quite loudly at work the other day and scared someone. Oh, Mandy's channel. Oh, Mandy, I've got to say it. You've probably got the best glowfish video I've seen so far explaining about them. So, I mean, it's a shame we don't get your wonderful voice or your face. We just get writing on the screen, but still, lots of very good information about glowfish. Whatever do I mean? Yes, I farted loudly and made someone jump at work the other day. Yeah. And then I burped loudly from the other end of the warehouse and got called out for it. Hello, Chewy. How you doing? And Mufti's here as well. Hello, John. How you doing? So I go with Mufti because yeah, got the same name. Otherwise, things get confusing. And look at that. Yella's got all the links. Furiously scrolling and clicking copy and paste. Well, Mandy's channel is the Zen Ginger. It's funny that most of our channels are the names that come up. I hope that present will be ready for my birthday, but doubt it. But fingers crossed. Well, fingers crossed, Chewy. All the fingers crossed that busty redhead you ordered turned up. And Ricky's back from feeling the sugar gliders. Yes, I know it was a typo and he meant to type feeding, but feeling sounded far more amusing. Yeah. Why am I getting ideas trying to get let's try and find links for random channels? Having a new guitar worked on and properly set up. Ah, yes, getting it properly set up. That can take time. Yeah, getting frets and the strings and everything set right. Evening, Bruiser. How you doing? Well, I don't know. Technically, it's probably is it afternoon or evening now? Kind of had to do something. The fish couldn't swim. Yeah, that's when you know they're getting a bit overcrowded when the fish are all right on the top because there's no room further down. Or if they've got to the bottom, they can't get back up again. Already subscribed and have no memory of doing it. Oh, bless you, Barbara. I tend to get it the other way around. There'll be channels I'm sure I'm subscribed to, and it'll be such and such is live, and I'll click on the live, and like I do, you've got the subscribers only on. And you're like, what can I check? Oh, what? I'm not subscribed. What? Let me give this from a Takamine salesman as a seller's copy, and the tech I know as he took over my gig. It'll be done properly then. Blocking everything, even the lights. Well, at least you know they were keeping the nitrates down for you. You know, Stevie C, big pimpin'. How you doing? Sandy showed me cool bristly L519. Cool. Not entirely. I ain't got a clue about numbers. I just call them what they look like to me. So is it a stripy one, a spotty one? I upset people. Anything goes. Hello, hello. How you doing? Evening, Clark. How you doing? I hope all is well with thou. Um, Black with big yellow spots. So it's a yellow spotted pleco. Yeah, that's the name it needs. Polka dot plec. There you go. That'll do it. Fish, fish looked at me funny, like where did all this room come from? I'll probably start breeding again now. Luckily, got some friends in his. You know everyone in the industry, Chewy. I'm surprised you haven't got Alex Lifeson setting up your guitar. Spent an hour yesterday trying to solve the maze on a discus. Just stick them between two slices of bread. They're perfect for that. Fish sandwich. That's what discus are designed for. They evolved specifically for that purpose, to fit perfectly in between two slices of bread. Yeah. And yes, I know if there are any discus lovers here, they're going to get really upset with me. But hey, it's what I do. There was a post on the Reddit or Facebook, can't remember which. It might have been Faceache. Someone posted a bunch of pictures of guppies asking what types they were. So I just went, mutt, 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 mutt. Possibly wild type, if not mutt. A guy that plays like Alex, my lead guitar. How do I breed plecos? I put a male and a female in a tank with some wood and some plants and a cave and add water. That's about it. Red crayfish babies today. Don't know how that happened. That's generally how it happens. I've given up on the idea of specifically, I'm buying this fish to breed. I am going to breed this. I don't do that. What I do is I buy a pair, a male and a female, or if it's like 3 for on the price, I'll buy a male and 2 females, and got a chance that the male's going to have the hots for one of the females at least. And then just put them in a tank and see what happens. And Scotty's 44-gallon broker seal sprayed him as he walked past the other day. Had to move all the fish and drain it super fast. So much fun. Yeah. Thankfully, I only had that happen with a 15 litre so far, which is 4 gallon. Turn the lights low, put some Barry White and let the magic happen. See, it's weird. I mean, Chewy might have some input on this one, but I find that fish prefer metal. Or classical and metal, that kind of music, rather than Barry White. I mean, I say that they prefer that because I don't listen to Barry White or Barry Manilow or Alexander O'Neill. So yeah, my fish breed to metal. What can I say? Plecos have taste. I'm not going to claim anything for breeding shell dwellers or live bearers or cribs because it just happens. Literally, you add water and babies appear. Someone was saying, how long did it take before your guppies started breeding? As anytime I've bought guppies, within about 2 days of them being in the tank, Fry showed up. Fish love various types of music. Bosses played CCR and I played Rush. Slight difference, but hey, never mind. Be right back. Cat screaming at me. Give the cat fusses for me. Just don't get clawed to death. This Marritt's cat looks very much like little pumpkin cat that lives next door. Bless her, little pumpkin cat. She's a lovely cat. She's actually friendly, but she's so frightened of people that once she can get close enough, if once she can get close enough that you can touch her and give her a little stroke, and she realises you're not going to hurt her, you're fine. You can stroke for ages, but she'll forget you after about a week. Plants and birds are more picky about what they listen to. Yeah, birds like things with lots of swearing in it and annoying high-pitched noises. Parrots like the swearing because then they copy it. And anything like, but I forget where it was somewhere in Scandinavia at some point, many moons ago. There was literally so many people had the old Nokia phones that they all had the same ringtone, that the sparrows started imitating the mobile phone ringtone. Just imagine that. Wake up in the morning to a dawn chorus of 3,000 Nokias going off. Last thing you want. Yeah. Figure she might claw you to death, Marrett. You have to offer treats and or catnip, and then you might be able to give her a stroke. Or do I have to send the floof monster over there to have a word? He's been scaring the neighbours' visitors again this week. Apparently some people are freaked out when a cat rubs against their leg. They look down and there's no cat there. Or is it just me being used to it happening? I think that's probably more likely. And was it Monday I was up on Jess's stream, or Tuesday? Might have been Tuesday. Magpie sound like when you call a fax machine. Our local mockingbirds now imitate car alarms at 2 in the morning. Oh, joy. That's probably not so bad because nobody pays any attention to car alarms anymore. I remember when they first started getting fitted and you'd hear a car alarm go off and like everyone would, there's something happening. Now a car alarm goes off and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Used to be one of my favourite tricks at the paintbrush factory that I worked at. This is all the office staff and the managers all parked out front of the offices. But if you wanted to go around from the warehouse to the stores, you could either go all the way around the back of the building, up, across, down, and dealing with wonky tarmac, which on a forklift is not a good idea, or you go around the front of the building, which is nice and flat. Well, I found out that if you went over to the side nearer the cars and put your toe down on the forklift and rattled past at a massive 5 mile an hour, the vibration would set off all the car alarms. Yeah, I guess we had a lot of fun doing that very regularly. Moluccan cockatoo Sue about swears with every sentence. Yeah, thing is that cockatoo picked it up from someone. It picked it up somewhere. So, yeah. It's like when you've got small children, it's like you do not swear around small children because all the words they could possibly pick up on that you use, it's the F-bombs, the C-bombs, any swear word, anything you don't want them to say, they pick up on instantly. Same goes for things like cockatoos and parrots. You can stand there going, "Who's a pretty boy? Who's a pretty boy? Pretty Polly, piece of eight," till you're blue in the face. First time you stub your tongue, you're like, "Oh, fuck!" Next day, bird will be screaming up at the top of its voice. That's what will happen. I figured it might be you, Ricky. Good day, Marquis Mark, Baron O'Bunyips. I'm wondering how many people have tried to Google what the hell a bunyip is because they don't realise when I'm talking to you what I'm after or what I'm on about. Yeah, when you think about it, a bird has pretty much got the IQ of a toddler. So they're going to pick up on the swearing. In the aquarium hobby, politics are an issue worldwide. Ukrainian fish keeping is under attack, and so are their breeding facilities. To be fair, I think Ukraine has got more to worry about than their fish breeding facilities being under attack. Not to make light of the situation, but thank you, Yella. Been a member for 5 months. Well, you've been a member for far longer than that, but member of my channel. As bar by me, I had constantly had African grey, pretty gross. His shirt was constantly covered in bird crap and a mouth like a sailor. That is the other thing. Bunyip, mythical creature that delivers sore feet. You're not too far wrong. I mean, it's a cryptid or a mythical creature. It doesn't do the old sore feet. It takes you away to drown and then eat you. Thank you very much, Mark. 5 more memberships. They're all gone today. Ooh, and we're showing up the lurkers. Oh, Queefy and Shanna. And Holly, the Mississippi hippie. To be honest, I don't know if they're in and lurking or just picked people randomly from my subscriber list. Never know. If you're here, if you're lurking, hi lurkers. Thank you. Where were we? Bunyips. Yeah, bunyip, not bunyan. Yes, exactly, Holly. You got found out. That's the thing. When memberships get gifted, the lurkers get called out. Yeah. No, I don't mind lurkers. It's views. It's all good for the algae rhythm. Exactly, lurking and working on a tank. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, let's see. Tanks are more important than chat. That's generally what I say. Because if you're working on a tank and then you get in chat and you get carried away, you can either drain the tank out or flood your house. One of the two is going to happen. You actually don't have to be present to get a membership. Yeah, I think it's like if it goes through people who are in the chat who've got the gifts allowed. And then if it runs out of those, it then goes to the subscribers that aren't in the chat. Do ottos take care of algae rhythms? Ottos take care of diatomaceous or diatom algae, the brown dusty stuff. Or you wreck the computer with wet fingers. Is that? I told you before, Marit. Learn to use the mouse and the keyboard left-handed so you can use your right hand for other things, okay? Always keep one hand dry and one hand wet. Aisha, someone once asking me if I was left-handed because I was apparently very good at using a mouse left-handed. No, I'm right-handed. Why are you so good moving the mouse and clicking with your left hand? Practice. Wish Simplicity could work on algorithms and do the coding for me next week. To be fair, Otto's would probably be better at computer coding than I would, Rebecca. Welcome aboard. Sitting here doing the diamond painting and listening. Oh, there. What are we working on this time, Marrett? And Dan's done 14 months. Oh dear. And actually, now you're here, Rebecca. Bristly nose question. Ritesh, Ricky, has just seen one he likes. Is it the old 591? I think. Put it in the chat, Ricky. We were trying to figure out what one it was. Apparently, it's black with big yellow spots, so I called it the yellow spotted plec, which is what I would name it because I'm not posh. Wet hand for the algae scraper, dry hand for the chat. L519, that was it, yeah. If you know anything about those, if there's anything in particular to know about them. Oh, Princess of Plecos. I just breed them. Rebecca actually knows the scientific stuff about them. Bolivian, cute and seem to grow out quickly. There you go. So I always thought there was only one thing that came out of Bolivia, and ever since I got into the fish keeping hobby, I realised there's more than one thing that comes out of Bolivia, and it's not just a white powder. There are rams that don't die the second you look at the tank. Lady I know bought some in March last year, has them breeding already. Bolivia's cheap for real estate. Yeah, the only problem is you've got to avoid the cartels. Like, snows in Bolivia? It does. There are mountainous regions, Dan. Apparently it also snows in Florida and Texas. Even California. We had hail today and a thunderstorm, which is kind of weird. Very strange to actually get a thunderstorm in January. Normally a more late summertime kind of thing here. Yes, I was avoiding the extra. The marching powder does not only come from Colombia. Actually, I wonder when it's growing season, do they collect the leaves, and then when it's not growing season, they collect the fish? I'll sanity check of the Indonesian farms. Just had rain, and it's warm, which is nice. It was quite warm earlier, and then it piddled down with rain and hailed, and now it's got back to being chilly again. I think it's just above freezing. Very famous. I think it was a rugby team rather than the soccer team, football team. Was it a Peruvian rugby team? It was one of them. There was a movie made out of it. Had some very interesting dietary requirements. Long pig was on the menu. But hey, if you're going to starve to death, then you eat the fat guy first. Which is why you always travel with someone less fit and heavier than you. So you got something to eat when it. Oh, what goes wrong. Yeah, dark. Ooh, what are you up to, Shelley's? You've been sitting. Hope they're all okay and didn't resort to cannibalism. Doner kebabs. Anyone? Yeah, kebabs. The only food that you actively seek out to eat when you're really drunk. You don't see sober people going out for a kebab. I even look at people weird when they're like in the chip shop and they go, chips and some doner meat, please. And you're thinking, you're sober. Why the hell do you want that? Travel with a football team who are all prone to snoozing. Yeah, that'd be my problem. I'd go for a nap and wake up missing a butt cheek. Looks like our 3-year drought might be ending. We're having some pretty big wet storms. Pineapple Express, the storms near Hawaii and go east. Wow. Hopefully that's all good news for you then, Barbara. And it's all nice and wet and moist. And all the reservoirs get refilled and the rivers and everything starts to grow again. So we had like a 6-month drought here and everything died. It was pretty horrific, actually. Yeah, Marit says she had a few days of snowstorms here. And as always, the idiots went crazy. Roads are closed due to ice. It's now +6 and raining. Heard from somewhere there's horse and donkey in Donemite. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Probably cat, dog, rat. I buy horse in Tesco's once, yeah. I don't know why people get so up in arms about it. Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 was the flight soccer team. Yeah, I'll say the horse is really nice. It tastes better than beef. I mean, it's like the reason the sales of Finder's crispy pancakes and lasagna went down after the horse meat scandal wasn't because there was horse meat in it. It was because they switched it out for beef and it tasted worse. That simple. You know, I'd say other countries eat horse, no worries at all. Render the fat guy down first to create candles and then cook him. Yeah, that'll work. And if you hollow out the long bones and run the tallow in there, you get a much better candle as well. You can buy a horse at IKEA and the meatballs comes in little pieces, but you can't put it back together. Yeah. Yeah. I've never even been to an IKEA, let alone bought anything from them. There was a time a ways back when I was looking for a display cabinet for models, and IKEA had a sale on the Detloff, I think it was, or the Detolf, or some weird name. There is an IKEA not far from me, Rebecca, but yeah, I don't see any reason to go. But yeah, so this cabinety display thing was on offer, and it was kind of selling quite well amongst modelers because it was worked out quite cheap. Then I looked at the postage and packaging, and it was just like, what, you want as much to deliver it as the cabinet costs? No, not happening. Yeah, so I'm half hour so by car from the IKEA, but I just had no reason to visit there. Yeah, I'm good at walking around stores with things, all sorts of things, and you're just going, don't even notice them. I'm I'm very good at just walking past and going. You know, when a supermarket moves all the things around to make you buy new things because you've gone to where the old thing was that you wanted, and they put something else there. I'm the guy that actually goes, where you shifted the pork pies to? I ain't interested in none of this stuff. I wanted pork pies. This is where they live. And then the poor person has to go, oh, they're over here, sir. We moved them over here for some random reason. Um, the old IKEA, build the old IKEA tank. Yeah, no thanks. I know what you mean, buying the glass shelves and sticking them together, but yeah, I don't trust my siliconing skills. And me cutting glass is a bad idea. Very bad idea. Wasn't IKEA in Cambridge, so I used to get the stuff from Argos. It's basically the same, isn't it? I mean, most of any of my flat pack probably came from Argos. Pardon me. Like, you probably have to be quite old to remember it, but I think my TV unit came from MFI. Since there's no Argos catalogue, I don't go anymore. Yeah, there's no Screwfix catalogue now either, and that's upsetting some older people. Well, how am I supposed to know what to order? I haven't got a catalogue. It's all on the website, sir. It's all on the app. Well, I don't use that bloody stupid internet. That could be a problem then. You can use the tablets in the store. They've got everything in them. You just got the catalogue and all the prices are up to date. So you won't come to the counter with your little bit of paper, with all your numbers written down, hand it over, and we go tap a tap a tap. That'll be such and such. And you go, no, it isn't. It says this much in the catalogue. It's $9.99, not $15.99. You're like, yes, the catalogue is 6 months old. If you've got the most recent one, if you haven't noticed, everything's been going up in price. That's why the milk, eggs, and bread are at the back of the grocery store. And they tend to spread them out over here. So the fresh bread will be at the back, and the fresh donuts and stuff. Because apparently people get led by their nose towards the fresh bread. And not being able to smell it makes no difference to me. But again, I just go in and get what I want. Yeah, a catalogue shop with no catalogue. That's the way it's going because it costs a fortune to print the bloody things. And then they're literally out of date 3 days later. So, I mean, companies will say it's for the environment. So we're not chopping down all these trees and manufacturing all these catalogues that then just get thrown into landfill after 6 months. It's for the environment. No, it's not. Yeah, eggs in the baking section, yeah. And weirdly, well, not weirdly, but sugar's always in the baking section as well. I think they should have sugar in the tea and coffee section as well, so you don't have to walk down the baking aisle every time you want bloody sugar. Unless you want quail eggs. Then, if not in Waitrose, you have to awkwardly ask where they are. Yeah, and most places around here you get told, yeah, we don't do quail eggs. The only place that does, actually, ironically, is the place I used to work in, one shop. And that's because one of the guys that worked there owned quail. So he's basically got a small holding with chickens, quail, and all sorts of random feathery things that make eggs. But then, yeah, I see the price of quail eggs and I'm like, hell no. It's bad enough with chicken eggs now. Donuts in every section, keep you topped up while getting the shop. No, exactly. I mean, there's all sorts of space. You know, there's a whole bit of gluten-free stuff. I can get rid of that and put more donuts and pork pies in. There's the vegetalist section that I could get rid of and put more donuts and pork pies in. And then there's the whole vegetalist section in the freezers that they could do the same with. Eggs should always be in the bacon aisle. Yeah, that would make sense. As I say, there's certain things, you know, like eggs and sugar that, yeah, I know they're for baking, but you use them for everything else. So have them in multiple locations in the store. You know, so have the eggs with the sausages and the bacon. Have the sugar with the tea and coffee, as well as in the baking aisle, would make sense. And also, if you've got, you know, so you got your sausages, your bacon, your eggs, and then have your bread rolls as well next to them. That'd be perfect. That's breakfast sorted, and you've only got to go 1, 2, 3. But no, we need to keep them in the shop as long as possible and make them walk around every aisle to find what they want, because then they'll buy more. And they'll be more peed off, and they won't want to come back as often as they might. Yoga mats out, cinnamon apple donuts in. Now, but you see, yoga mats are useful, Dan, because you can either buy a special fish tank mat that goes under your fish tank, or you can just buy a black yoga mat and it does exactly the same thing. It's about 1/10 of the price. I bought one years ago, and I've just been chopping chunks out of it to the right size. And yeah, I mean, those are all floating bases. That's floating base, but like all the Fluval Flexes, I know they come with them. And some of the other smaller tanks I've got aren't floating base, so that's why I bought a yoga mat to chop up. And also, if nothing else, it soaks up any spills as well. You can get quail eggs off of Amazon. I wouldn't buy eggs from Amazon. Hell no. The only food I would buy from Amazon would be stuff that comes in tins. Let's put it that way. Um, yes, I know everything's going to be in date. It's going to be refrigerated. It's going to have cold packs, blah, 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 all that stuff. But, you know, it's just that thing where I like to buy my food and it goes like straight into the fridge in like less than half an hour from me buying it. It tends to last a bit longer. Don't put cheese in the same section as dairy. Yeah, dairy's spread all over the place. You've got milk, cheese. Cheese and the butter is normally next to each other. And at least in my locals, they're in the same aisle. Yeah, but if they sell the yoga mats in the fish store, then they're going to be labelled up as fish tank mats, and they're going to increase the price of them. What I'll do is the fish store will just cut them to the right size for the various sizes of tank, and then charge a fortune. Better cheese selection would be a good thing for any store. I'm pretty lucky in that my local Sainsbury's and Lidl do have a pretty good cheese selection. You don't want to buy raw oysters on Amazon. I wouldn't want to buy oysters anyway. I mean, if I want to eat snot, I'll just stick my finger up my nose. Um, cheese usually by the deli in the front of the store, milk is in the back of the store. So milk just tends to be wherever the milk is in a UK store. I mean, yeah, it does tend to be more towards the back, but it's in the chiller aisle, so yeah, cheese and stuff is all in the same one, and yogurts, which is basically the halfway point between cheese and milk. Yeah, move a donut stand to the LFS. That'd be a bad idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'll say I'm how to put it. With America being so big, I can imagine that Amazon Fresh deliveries probably aren't in refrigerated conditions for at least a day, if not a day and a half, before they get to you. Whereas in the UK, you'll get your Amazon delivery within 24 hours. But again, 24 hours out of a fridge for something that should be refrigerated is just not a good idea. Delis involve talking to people. Mm. Howdy, Tim. How you doing? Yeah, there's. And again, I'm kind of lucky in that I know most of the people in my local shops and stores, mainly because I've worked in most of them or served them repeatedly. So I'm going. I'm not talking to some random stranger. I'm talking to someone I know. So it's they know me, so I don't have to pretend to be normal. Um, yeah, do I live within a few hours? Still not okay if chicken is left out that long. No, exactly. So when I worked at my previous job, One Stop, the out of date food will get taken off at the end of the day and then be written off the next morning, and you could then take it for free, which is fine if you're working earlies and it's only been out of the fridge for a couple of hours when you grab it and take it home. But when you're working late in the summer and there's like a prawn cocktail sandwich there or a chicken and bacon and mayonnaise sandwich, and you're looking at it and you're going, well, it's already out of date and it's been sat out in summer heat all day long. I'm going to give that a miss. I'd rather people not know me in the stores. I'm antisocial like that. Yeah, I'm fairly antisocial as well, but it's one of those things. If you work in shops in a small town, you, even if you don't get to know people, people get to know you. So you might recognise the face as a customer, as they're a customer that you serve, but they'll remember you as the guy who gets their baccy or their whiskey or whatever. I remember seeing fish tank water and pets at home is so ridiculous. Yeah, well, I mean, I tried selling fish tank water the year before last, but I was selling it as trying to sell it as plant fertilizer, and let's just say it didn't happen. I think I sold like a couple of bottles. But I mean, if you saw that Pleco poop video, 2 litres of that, that's going to get your house plants or your beans or whatever out in the garden growing real well. That amount of nitrate in it. Like the prospect of gas station sushi. Yeah. I've not. Have I had little sushi? Can't remember. I know I've done Sainsbury's and Tesco's. Well, One Stop, it is Tesco with a different label on it. Um, I've not had the little one. There are. I mean, sushi is bloody expensive. So you get like 6 mouthfuls, and you think I could have had a really big meal for that amount of money. Um, and as I say, I've had food poisoning quite a few times, and I'd rather avoid having it again if I could. It's really not pleasant. Ah, thank you, Daddy Boy. Give me 10 memberships. Who we got? We got Sherry, Mr. Moist Hose, Nanu, Jamie, Glitchy, and anything goes. Come on, Harry, you get your thing set to allow. You're going to be the only one who's not a member before long. My own cooking is food poisoning. Sushi is a fire. It's rare steak. Yeah, on rare steak, I mean, if you will have it overcooked. Oh no. Oh, there goes the neighbourhood. There's the chunky funky. How you doing, Funk? Good to see you, my friend. Roses are red, violets are blue. Sharpe smells like hot dogs in the North Front. Well, that's an improvement on what I normally smell like, Funk. Happy birthday, by the way. Good to see you. I hope all is well with you, Mrs. Funk and the Funkettes. I'll keep the actual names out of the thing because some people get a bit funny about their real names being used, understandably. I mean, you're definitely batting way above your league, though, Funk, I've got to say. We had a lady customer when she came in. Everyone was speed to the back room and the slowest of us got to. Yeah, we have one of those in town too. She's called Red Coat Lady. And she basically goes around each of the stores, supermarkets and foodie places, getting banned from them one after the other. And yeah, she's an actually absolutely evil excuse for a woman. It's one of those people that looks like she's sucking on a lemon permanently. And if you dare be in the same aisle as her, let alone look at, I mean, if you're looking at the same thing, she will ram her trolley straight into you. Thank you very much, Mark, Mr. Black Powder Aquatics. See, I know your other channel. Haha, you can't sneak that one. Always appreciated, as with all the membershipies and the super chats and the super thanks and all the other stuffs. Always appreciated. Good, there's a bug go around. Lucky to have a stud like me. I mean, yeah, you are a stud, Funk. You know, like one of them bits of wood they put in the wall to nail the plasterboard to. Yeah, stud. Anyone would think me and Aquafunk don't like each other, but we do. We just rack on each other hard. That's how you can tell. I know he can take it, and he knows I can take it, and we just have a laugh with it before anyone gets worried or takes offence. If Funk couldn't take it, I wouldn't give it, and he wouldn't give it either, because he knows he'll get it back from me. I mean, look at that picture. Who couldn't love that lovely dome? I mean, you could do with a bit of a polish up there, Funk. Rock on, brother. Yeah, I'm good at taking it. Oh, definitely. Barb's getting in on the joke as well. Yeah. Luckily, I did think of the belly button stud as well. So good job I didn't go for that one. But yeah, Funk is now officially older than Methuselah and Job. Thank you very much, Tim, for becoming a Zach friend. That is a Zach, a floof monster, a ghost cat. Yeah, that I know that would freak Funk out. How do you feel, Funk? You're laying there in bed at night, about to go to sleep, and you feel a cat jump on your bed, but you know there are no cats in the house. Oh, BRB. He's been called away by his lady. Yeah. Something has appeared on the honey-do list. Oh, and Danny Ken Aquatics has just uploaded a video on super red bristlenose fry. We can. Does anyone want to see super red bristlenose fry? We don't need to go over to Kenny's channel. Oh, untangle, untangle, tangle alert, tangle alert. Ah, there's some in a very, very, very cloudy tank. There's a few more. See how close we can get. Yeah, there we go. There's some more super red bristlenose fry. And I can outdo Kenny because mine are long fin as well. Wahahaha. Oh, get on there straight, Cammy Rah Rah. Turn the screen back round. Here we go. Couldn't watch everyone else become a member and also join. Oh yeah, new member Fish Moji Bomb. Yes, all the fishies, the ghosties, and the farty man. Hundreds of geckos on all. It is. And one of these days I will get round to it. If I stick my hand in one of the tanks with the bristle noses in and just leave it there, I end up wearing a bristle nose glove. Literally 100 bristle noses on my hand. It's kind of a strange sensation, I have to admit. But yeah, there's 150 super red bristle noses in there. Which is why it's not a surprise. There's a bit of algae in that tank. Oh, there's a couple of chonkers in there as well. Oh, yeah. So there we go. Super reds. I think I've done a video on super red bristle noses. They're bristle noses. I probably have. But if not, when we're done here, if you're not going to tune into Corey's live stream, you can go at Danny Ken Aquatics and watch his video. Get on my Garas, not 100 at a time. It's a bit of a weird feeling. It is. It's something if you've got mollies or guppies and they start or platies and they all start trying to pull your arm hairs out because they think it's hair algae and they're going to eat it. That's a bit weird as well. But it's not quite as weird a feeling as when you got bristle noses nomming on your hand. Thankfully, they're not toothy buggers. Some of the ones I've seen in have got quite serious teeth on them. Yeah, you get your butt to bed, Ricky. Sleep well, my friend. No, that's Malaysian one. Flower horns or large chicklets are lovely fishes when you put your hand in the tank. Yeah, they like it. They like to have a nip as well, don't they? Yeah. As the other one, I upset someone else the other day by referring to flower horns as mutt cichlids. They were trying to be all clever about what flavour of flower horn it was, and I was like, yeah, it's a mutt. I didn't do anything funky. Don't you worry. You didn't miss out on anything. And here we go. Yellow's got the link to Danny Ken Aquatics. And if you're lucky, Kenny might twerk. I think flower horns look like they've been hit in the head with a hammer while having a thyroid disorder. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I know the mucal hump is a thing in a lot of fish, but they just look like they've got a boil that needs lancing on the top of their head. Reminds me of Nigel Kennedy back in the 90s when he had that massive boil on his neck. He was a violinist, if you're not aware. Yeah, I'll say each to their own, but I just don't find flower horns visually appealing. You are the only one to do an emoji bomb. Hey. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll say other ones, they're like a normal size. It's just, yeah, flower horns is like they've been bred for the nasty, worst traits, like a lot of goldfish. Like the ones that have is it the wen on the top of their head? It just looks to me like their brains escaping. It looks like they've had some massive head injury and their brains coming out. And the ones with the poppy outy eyes, yeah, no, definitely not for me. Although I do like a little ranchu though, little wiggle butts. They're cool. Without the dorsal fin, they sort of wiggle their whole body and don't really get very far. Goldfish are cute. Not many cichlids have cute appeal. Yay, yellow emojis. Shellies are pretty cute. Nanakara as well, they're quite cute. Angelfish are horrific things. Sharpe, angering fish keepers by the minute. Says the guy with over 1,000 bristle noses. I think angelfish have been overdone. Yeah, to say they're pretty to look at if you get a nice sight like a black veil tail. Oh dear. Rebecca and Funk together, that could be interesting. Would you get a word in edgeways, Rebecca? Now, me and Funk would be funny. It would be the most insulting live stream ever. Not my thing either, but without selective breeding, we wouldn't have some of our cool fish or coolest fish tubers from Norwich. There's a fish tuber in Norwich? Wow. Yeah. Hey, if I'm awake when you're streaming, I will, Funky. I'm normally chucking out the Zs or the Zs by the time you stream. That's why I haven't been in your streams, because I'm normally it's the time difference. Not your fault. Don't blame you. I don't blame any of my American friends for streaming in the middle of the night, but you know, an episode of Wild and Out with a British twist. I always mess the Norwich and Norfolk thing up. It is an easy one to get wrong. It's like England, Great Britain, the UK, British Isles. They all mean different things, but you know. And the thing is, I'm too lazy to figure out how to do StreamYard or any of the other stuff. Yes, I would probably still have to mind my language a little, but I'm sure we could figure it out, me and Funk. I say, if there are other channels that are looking for people to maybe interview, an English perspective on fish keeping for American audiences, hit me up. So I think most people in the fish fam know me by now and kind of know what I do, how I do things, and the ones that have been upset with my stocking levels have buggered off already. So blame me for streaming between 5 and 7 Monday mornings. Exactly, this is it. It's the problem with a global community is time's not the same everywhere in the world, and it's quite easy to forget that. So everyone streams at a time that is suitable for them. Sorry. Plus, I've been in this time slot for a long time now. Hello, Debs. Let's see. You know exactly what I mean, don't you, Debs? With the most of the Americans streaming in the middle of the night. Most of the Aussies streaming super early in the morning. Oh, pardon me. That was a cross between a yawn and a burp at the same time. Ooh. Oh, pardon me. Grey speckles on my red spotted severum picked up the other day. Seen it on discus and other fish. Not sure what it is. Any info? Before anyone else says it, because it has to be said, it's a fishy thing. It's ick. Use Ickex. There we go. Someone had to say it. Not sure. I probably wouldn't have a clue even if I saw a picture. Which is I can identify columnaris and camellanus. They're the two main illnesses I've had in my fish. I've not really had any of the others. Touch wood. I should touch some real wood. There we go. But as an aside on the time zones thing, did you know when the time zones were actually put together and sorted out, there were 41 people attended the convention meeting in Washington, D.C., and apart from 2 countries that abstained and France, it was unanimously voted to make the 0 hour or the 0 line on the Greenwich Meridian. So it's not just a British thing. Yes, Chester Arthur actually voted to have time set by the Greenwich Meridian. And the reason it was done was because of the trains. So that all the trains would actually run to the same timetables. And the thinking behind giving it to the UK was because at the time we had the biggest empire, the biggest navy, and it was most useful for the world to have it set as England. So that is why the Greenwich Meridian is the 0 line on the maps. Why England is literally the centre of the world. Random factoids with Sharpe. Let's get to something interesting. Why can't everyone just make it convenient for people in America? Well, depending on the coast, you're either on the East Coast, you're 3 squirrels behind. On the West Coast, you're 2.5 gators behind. And in the middle, you're what is it? What is it? It's 6 bald eagles, I think. I think the word should be set at the same time as my watch, because me that matters only. Well, there you go, Funk. Ooh, well done, Steve. He's a member of the Craig Bunny Mark Cock Insomniac crew. Yes, I know Adele is not called Cock, but the YouTube Meridian, exactly. Yeah, but then that would be set from Los Angeles, where Google is based, so or California anyway. Silicon Valley, I'd guess. Could be stress, especially if you just moved to New Chang. Everyday fish keeping had some grey discus he made a video of. There we go. Some help for Dan. Always good. I mean, to me, discus are great. It means they're undercooked. I find they go more of a brown colour when they're cooked properly. World's most expensive fish sandwich. Not a whole fish. Looks healthy and bright with some grey speckles here and there. I say could just be in a grump or ammonia burn. Yeah, possible. But good food, clean water, and DKF care, and it'll soon get better. That's what I'm saying anyway. And if it does get any worse, then time to start figuring out which Isha treatment to use. So, about the only effective things that we can get in the UK. Yeah, that could be a thing, really. There's a red. They say there's a red-throated severum, a rock gill. They're red around that area of the gills anyway, aren't they? So it might not show up if it's got ammonia burn on the gills, but we can hope not. Then when sudden pH or water hardness changes, yeah, that will also cause problems. One reason, something I always do, especially if I'm going to a new fish shop, somewhere I've not bought from before, is before I add the fish to a tank, I get a testy strip and I dunk it in the bag. I'm not looking for ammonia or nitrate or anything like that. I'm looking for the pH, the GH, and the KH. Then I've got a clue, an idea of whether it matches with my tanks and whether I can just temp acclimate and plop and drop like I can if I get them from two closest places. I can just temp acclimate and then plop and drop straight in the tank, no worries. Quarantine tank, obviously. Other places I've been where the water's been softer softer because it doesn't really get harder. Then I've done the slower acclimation where you add some tank water to the bag or drip acclimate, that kind of thing. I'd guess it's probably not your water that's had the issue if it's an ammonia thing, Dan. I think possibly in the bag or in the tank in the shop, and it's something that's kind of taken a while to come out, as it were. Taken a while for the injury to show. Kind of like when we bash ourselves into something, don't remember it, don't notice it, then like 3 or 4 days later, you're like, where the hell did that bruise come from? Yeah, might just be. I'll say keep an eye on it. If it gets worse, then maybe look into it a bit more. But generally, once you put a fish in a clean environment, anything that it did have wrong with it, like that, will clear up fairly rapidly. And Tim's sister has a cichlid mutt that when you push your gravel back where it belongs, gets super mad and changes colour, and then starts moving the gravel back where they want it. Yeah, how do I get them all? What the F bruises I find. Yeah, Mary does that as well. I'm pretty lucky. I don't tend to bruise. I mean, that clonk I gave myself on the head, it went very slightly yellow around it for a day, but that's about it. And I nearly knocked myself out, and I didn't bruise. So when I do bruise myself, yeah, there's normally something broken. I think last time I bruised my foot was when I ran it over with a roll cage full of soft drinks. I broke a toe. And the last time I bruised my hand was very close to breaking that as well. That was when I accidentally punched a solid roll cage. I accidentally backhanded it hard. Why does my hand itch so much? And it's not palm, so it's not money coming in. The older I get, the more don't give up bruises I avoid. Yeah, avoiding bruises is always a good thing, but sometimes they just happen. And you know how accident prone I am. Dropping things on myself or accidentally punching things, so it kind of happens. I've done so much damage to my body that the blood vessels have probably retreated from the dermal layer for protection. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. Yeah, actually, it's probably something in that, because when it's hot, I don't get like all my veins coming to the surface and standing up to cool blood down. Tend to find dried blood with no idea where else. Yeah, I do that one fairly regularly. It'll be like, huh? Where'd that blood come from? Why is there blood on my hand? Where am I leaking from? You sort of have to hunt and find the bit that's leaking. Yeah. Although, if anywhere, it's usually my fingers. Do have a tendency to take chunks out of my fingers quite regularly. But again, no sense, no feeling. Sciatica, it's not because I have sciatica. It's because I've not injured myself for a while, so my body needs to feel pain again. So it just makes my back hurt. Hello, Sarah. Sketty Nona. Set to find the ones on my hands with lemon juice. Not normally lemon juice for me. It's in the past it was normally lacquer thinner from making models. You don't notice you cut your finger until you accidentally spray lacquer paint on it, and then it really friggin' hurts. And it normally happens while you're either live or filming something, and you got to not swear about it. COVID was fun as well. When everyone was doing the whole hand sanitizing thing every time you went into a shop or come out. Yeah, you soon found every little scratch on your hands. Squirt the 99% alcohol on your hands, rub it around and go, ow, that hurts. And you go, oh, well, at least that cut's not going to get infected. Yeah. Don't really deal with anything at the moment that might have that effect at work. Yeah. I mean, I handle a lot of dangerous chemicals, but they're normally still in the container. I'm normally handing them over to a customer and either making a joke about, are you 18? When they're like in their 40s or 50s. Although we did actually have a mystery shopper come in to our store the other week, last week, yeah, and tried to buy something that they were underage for. Thankfully, they got refused a sale, but when the thing came through, a description of the staff member that served you was a redhead. Oh, she's not got red hair. It's purple. Um, and middle-aged. And we're like, there ain't anyone here red hair and middle-aged. So went back through the security camera footage, figured out which one it was, because obviously they tell you the time and date that they came in. And turned out to be young Meg. She's 20. The person thought she was middle-aged. She was very upset about that. And then to show how bored we were, because we didn't have anything to do, the supervisor jumps on the computer and makes her up a new badge that says middle-aged Meg on it. Yeah, bless her. Yeah, that was quite funny. Yep. All the cool kids are here, Sarah, so you're in good company. But there's all the cool kids and me and Aqua Funk. You know, Funk ain't cool. He's never been cool. Last time Funk was cool was in the 70s. Right, so, what plans we got for this week? What's coming up this week? As I said, probably a video of what the plans are for this year. Hopefully no more breedy, unless it's a pistos. To be fair, my body gave up on life at 40, so 20 being middle-aged feels right. Yeah, my body gave up a bit earlier than that, but obvious reasons. Injuries and chemicals. Yeah, so long as gravity didn't give up on it. I think that's about all we got coming up this week. Water changes, feed the fishies. Won't be doing any sellies this weekend. Hopefully I might have a clear tank, so I might be able to go do buys. Ooh, what fishies could Sharpe be buying? I have to wait and find out. And I'm going to have to go back through my videos and look to see if I've actually done a video, a species profile, on Apithogramma cacatoides. It's hard being the same age as old people. You say that, Mandy. You're younger than most of us here. You're a bubba. I mean, only by a couple of years, but you're still a bubba. Yeah, Yellow may well be the baby. We got anyone younger than 37? I think most of us are in our 40s or older. Body started attacking itself around that age. Immune system's gone off. Yeah, thankfully I've not had any of that. I just attack my own body, so that's not the problem. Crypty's the baby. Oh, and speaking of crypts, talk about a weird tangent. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed. I know which Beatles song you mean, Mark. And we will still love you, and we will still need you, even though, yes, Um, yeah, speaking of crypts, saw a video on Haunted and Abandoned Norfolk. Link, please. It's a friend of mine's channel, and there's a small church that's relatively local to me. Doesn't have a village. It's on the edge of MOD, Ministry of Defence live fire range. It's got an open crypt in it. You can actually go down into the crypt. I'm awful with age guessing, so I don't do it. The older you get, the younger people look. I have asked women in their 30s to see ID to buy alcohol because I think they look 18. You know, that kind of thing. I'm that bad at it. The older you get, the younger people look. You know, it's only the last couple of years I've started looking my age. It's kind of annoying. Must have been that working at One Stop that did it. Yeah. I'm blaming Adolf Arkwright and COVID. 32. Have I got t-shirts older than that? Yeah, I've got a t-shirt that's older than Tim. Oh dear. Only 25 in Wookiee's years. That don't work out. Yeah, I've still got my 1991 Spurs FA Cup final shirt. And I definitely got a bunch of music band spelt BAND tanks shirts from like 92 to 94. 3T, how you doing, Terry? Waiting in a Target parking lot to pick up a puppy. That's not normally why you're waiting parking lots to pick up. But yay for a pupper. Yeah, he's getting a pair of puppies to pick up. That's what it is, Yella. Sorry, Terry, I couldn't resist. Too easy. Too obvious. Yeah. Yeah. We all want to see the puppies' noses. Oh, dear. I do apologise. Yes, they are, Sarah. Puppies is a euphemism for breasts. We have all sorts of euphemisms for all sorts of parts of bodies in the UK. Some of them are kind of explanatory, some of them really aren't. Yeah, chest puppies. Chesticles. Norks. Bazongas. The girls. Yeah, that's another one. The twins. Sweater puppies. Yeah. All the various. There's so many different. But yeah, it's something that in the UK especially happens a lot. The amount of words for men's private parts is just phenomenally long. I mean, it makes the Inuit words for snow seem pathetic. And I'm pretty sure that's an urban myth. So, yeah. Some of the more polite ones are gentleman vegetables. Um, Boobs are puppies, but yet dogs are feet. I go with hooves. I think it's the head as they age, yes. Gravity being the cruel mistress that she is. But it doesn't just happen to the ladies, it happens to the gentlemen as well. Certain bits get lower and lower as you get older. And then you get to the point where you have to start sitting down carefully, where you used to be able to just flop down in a chair, no worries at all. You now have to lower yourself carefully so you don't accidentally sit on a plum. Pleco pellets. They leave ropes. Some of the ropes I find in my tanks you can probably anchor a ship with. Yes. Gravity, thou art cruel. I mean, even I'm getting some saggage now. I mean, they used to be up there and now they're down there. So I'm just saying it's muscle that slipped. That's what I'm saying. Nothing to do with having moobs at all. And no, you don't want to see them. Wookie moobs is not a good look. What's that? As we're getting toward the end, if anyone has any questiones they would like to ask, please stick them in chat. And while I think about it, if anyone is going into Corey's stream, hashtag puppies. Oh, my gravity is behind you. Ooh. You've seen them many a time, Yelly. You know I wander around the house topless regularly. Hell, most of the time I only get dressed to make videos, go to work. Yeah, I get dressed if I've got to go out, or if I've got to make a video or do a live stream. That's pretty much the only time at home that I'll put clothes on. Oh no, I'm just wandering around with boxers. Drop the human fry in the bath and get some school uniforms degunked. Oh dear. Yeah, have fun chipping the snot off. See you later, Dan. Thanks for the memberships and for being here. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, I can remember what my school uniform used to be like. Oh, God. Got a bit of a runny nose. Right up the sleeve of your blazer. Come half term, 6 weeks, I have to sit there and chip it all off. Ugh. And whatever the heck was in the bottom of your pockets had gone mouldy and rancid and nasty and horrible and it was my college rucksack. I left that over the summer because I used to get like 12 weeks off college in the summer. I say, you only get one summer holiday at college because you're only there for 2 years. But yeah, I left my rucksack all summer, and I'd forgotten that there was food in there. There was an entire ecosystem living in the bottom of my rucksack. It was pretty grim. I basically just dumped it in the garage when I came home on the last day, and you don't need to go into it for anything because why would you? House is glass, roasting in the sun in shorts. As it's 26 degrees outside, the glass is scalding. I can imagine. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to live in a glass house because I don't like the heat and I don't like bright light. So I'd be quite happy living in an old church. And most of the windows, or a chapel actually, because most of the windows are tiny, and the walls are about 3 foot thick, so it doesn't get too warm in there. It doesn't get very warm in the winter. It stays like an ice box, but yeah, sun does wonders for mood. It does. It makes me really miserable and grumpy because I hate being hot and sweaty or blind because it's too bright. Um, yes, I've spent way too long sitting in darkened rooms with nothing but a TV on. So I'll wake up in the morning. It's dark here at the moment till about 7:45. So I'll wake up whenever, 6, 7-ish. I won't bother turning on the light, but I can. But yeah, it's dark, but I can still see enough to roll a cigarette and drink and do what I need to do. The only reason I put jeans on this year or this winter was 2 weeks before Christmas. We had it down to -8, -9 Celsius, not Fahrenheit, thankfully. Um, and then I did take my shorts off and put a pair of jeans on to go to work, which was fine on the way to and away from work. But while I was at work, my legs got too hot. So, yeah. Then I'm very well insulated. I'm used to the colder weather, and yeah, and my blood's like treacle as well. So there's that as well. Um, yeah, I try and avoid the sun if I can, which is why last summer was an absolute nightmare for me, especially getting up to, was it? Oh, Terry's happy. He's got got his hands on a puppy. Yay! We look forward to seeing said pupster. Uh, I'm sure you'll enjoy the snuggles and the licks and the nips and the puddles and the poops on the floor and the endless barking and the vet bills. No, congratulations. Having a fluffy, furry friend is always a bonus. So having something, even if you've only been out for 5 minutes, is just pleased to see you when you come back. This is a yeah, dogs especially. It's unconditional love. That's two things: hookers and drugs. They're the only things I'd probably be waiting in a Target parking lot for, or someone to tell me where the hell I am and what the hell's going on and why I'm in a Target parking lot. Yeah, mind you, I've been around the fish farm long enough now that I remember when Bob used to do the streams out of his truck in the Walmart parking lot. Some of those people, man. Oh wow. No wonder why there's so many Karens. Why have you suddenly highlighted everything, silly computer? There we go. That's got rid of it. Walmart's the only game in town where I'm at. Yes. Walmart, Target do not exist over here. Walmart tried with Asda, and then realised the UK laws on employees and sales and things like that don't really work for Walmart. So yeah, they gave up. Same, they tried in Germany as well and fell afoul of several laws. And just the whole way of greeters and things just doesn't work in Europe. You just get looked at like, go away. I'm just here to shop. No, I don't need to be asked if I need any help every 5 seconds. I'm sure I can find where the eggs are. I'm capable of reading the signs up there that say eggs. That was one of my bugbears when I worked in Sainsbury's, was people go, excuse me, where's the baking goods? And you look up and you go, in the baking goods aisle with that sign that says, well, depending on what kind of day you were having, I'll just show you. And you wander over, there you are, and they're very happy with you. They think you're a wonderful employee. And if you're having a bad day, you just go over there. Or if they're rude, you go, read the sign. Walmart has been known to buy life insurance for their terminally employees. Why does that not surprise me? That sounds like an easy way to make a quick buck, doesn't it? Won't give them health insurance, but they'll buy life insurance on them. Oh dear. Yeah, that whole, if you don't work 40 hours a week, you don't qualify for the life insurance. So we'll employ you 40 hours. We'll only give you 39. That way we don't have to give you any health insurance. Such a screwed up system. Just have a little bit come out of your wages at the end of every month, which is actually way less than health insurance costs. And then get it all for free. Why is that so hard a concept to understand? I don't know. I would guess on them, Sarah. I would guess, oh, our employee is about to kick the bucket. Let's get life insurance on them. Signs. Everywhere there's signs. Exactly. But people, for some reason, can't tilt their head back and read them. Or understand to look up a little and, oh, look, everything's signed as at the end of the aisles. And then when you go down the aisles, there's little signs on the shelves as you go down the aisle saying like dairy and cheese or bacon and beef and pork and bread. And so you can just quick look down the aisle and you go, oh yeah, that's where they are. Really easy to find. Only discovered someone got a letter in the mail concerning their dead partner and Walmart getting the money. Yeah. Hopefully that gets cracked down on as a no, you don't do that. Because otherwise the people who run all the fishing boats in the Bering Sea will be getting insurance, life insurance out on all their employees. Should get some on my ex-husband. He finally ended up in prison. Ooh. I think we understand why he's an ex anyway, if that's the kind of thing that's going on. I'm not going to pry. I've not got life insurance. Given my medical history, it's going to cost a fortune. And okay, oh, but what about your funeral? No, everyone who knows me, Mary knows. Just dump me in bloody landfill. Whatever's the cheapest possible option, go for that. I don't care. This is just a meat sack. I will no longer be in it. I don't care what happens to my body after I'm not in there anymore. I don't need an expensive box that's all posh and lined and wonderfully carved and ornate that's just going to get buried in the ground or burnt. I mean, I'd quite happily have one of those eco funerals where they literally just wrap you in cotton shroud and dump you in a hole. No boxes or anything, or at the most a cardboard box. Yeah, this whole spending thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars on putting some meat in the ground, it just doesn't make any sense to me. On that dark subject, yeah, it's either that or I leave my body to science, and you don't want to be embalmed and sealed up for someone in the future to dig up and study. Yeah, cardboard box, exactly. And Yella's going to sell my body to some random weirdo on the internet. If someone can make money out of it, go for it. I think you can still leave your body to science. I am a registered organ donor. Whether anyone would want my organs after I'm done with them, I doubt it. Probably be in worse shape than the ones they've already got. But Mum wanted to donate her body to science, but you can't anymore. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, they used to pay a few £1,000, I think, for you to do that if you did that. But I think there were a lot of issues where someone would leave their body to science, and then the family would get very upset because they couldn't bury grandma or something like that, and it was legal hoo-ha happened, I think. New York State made human composting legal last week. That's a good one. Forward thinking. What's the other one? Is it hydromation? Where instead of burning your body, is basically just put in water, and there's a couple of other non-environmentally dangerous chemicals that are used. So basically you turn into soup, and then you just bones left, which you can easily grind down and use as fertilizer. Takes a lot less energy, as it were, power, to do it that way as well. And obviously you don't get the issues with human smoke coming out of the chimney. Human liquidators, literally, yeah. Why people have such an attachment to a body, I've never understood it. The person isn't in there anymore. Maybe we could ask a mortician. Yes, I'm sure Caitlin Doty would know exactly what the answers were. Haha. She recently, well, the last couple of days, I think, did a video where she watched My Girl and reacted to it. Cremation is money, that's why. Yes. Death positivity, exactly. This whole death is a bad, scary, horrible, nasty thing. It's not. It's a natural thing that's going to happen to all of us. And most other cultures, or not most necessarily, but a lot of other cultures and countries celebrate a person's life rather than mourning their death. As a hospice nurse that does shorts on YouTube, very macabre. I can imagine that one is end of life care hospice. Pretty, yeah, that would be dark. But anyway, my time is up. Corey is going live. Yeah, it's expensive. It uses a lot of fuel, energy. Yeah, it's easy to just dig a hole and dump a body in it. A lot cheaper, a lot better for the environment. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. If you are going over to Corey, remember #puppies. And if you're going over to Daniken Aquatics to watch his video on Super Red Bristly Nose Fry, go for it. Say Sharpe sent you. Other than that, thanks to everyone for turning up. Thanks for the member hits and the super chats, Mark and Danny Boy. Danny's not here anymore. Have a great week. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah.